Hi muckers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and on my channel today. I appreciate you being here. I'm very excited because I'm currently in Paris, if you couldn't tell by my very try-hard outfit right now. But I am seeing Lady Gaga tonight, which is so crazy because this has been something that has been my dream since 2011. And the fact that it's finally happening tonight in the Stade de France is insane. So that's why I'm here. I'm here for the weekend. I literally go back tomorrow. But I'm very excited for that, and I had some time to kill before we were gonna leave and go out to a cafe. I'm here with my mum. So I put on my Instagram, which is at the Adam McIntyre. That's also what my Twitter is. I changed all my usernames so that it was kind of easier for you to find me on stuff. I put out a post the last day, and I was asking for questions because I haven't done a life update video. I haven't done just honestly like sitting down and talking and answering questions in so long, and it's one of my favorite pieces of content to watch of my favorite creators, and it's one of my favorites to film because I kind of figure out what you want to hear that maybe is my opinions on things that I talk about or things behind the scenes, and y'all delivered with the questions and I appreciate that and I'm very grateful. Thank you. So I went through the post and I've hearted like a bunch of comments that I'm going to answer, and we're just going to go through them. So I hope you're doing well, and I'm in a really weird angle right now because I forgot my tripod and I am leaning this on a very small bottle of water, so I'm kind of like bent down like this, so let's ignore that. So we're just going to get into it. Starting off with a question that says, somewhere you want to travel to where you haven't been. The reason I'm starting with this one is because I know that my audience is heavily dominated by Americans. Shout out to y'all. Should I start singing the national anthem right now? I want to know what states you think I should visit. I really want to go to Texas. I really want to go to San Francisco, like all of these like different cities and states. Let me know which ones you think I would enjoy and feel safe in, because that's my main thing, because I normally travel alone. So I'm putting that out to you to kind of like help me with that one. But in terms of where I really want to travel to, I really want to see more of Germany, and I just kind of want to tick more places off Europe because it's very easy to go to Europe, and I know a lot of people are always messaging me being like, how are you traveling so much? Like, how are you affording this? And the truth of the matter is, a lot of the places that I travel to are within mainland Europe, and I'm in Europe. So if I book it enough in advance, I can get a cheap-ass flight, and I can get a cheap-ass hotel. So the reason I'm able to travel so much is because I'm booking so far in advance, and also Europe, from flying from Europe, because I have my Irish passport, is not that expensive. And I've talked to a lot of you in the comments, and you've been like, how are you affording these trips? Like, they must be like thousands of pounds. And I'm like, no, they're not. Like, I can get a round trip to like Germany, or even whenever I come to Paris, I can get the train. It is surprisingly affordable because it's within Europe. The America trips are something that I have to save up for a long time, so my goal is to focus more on Europe moving forward, but I really do want to know different states in America, and thank you so much for the question. Someone said something that's really interesting, and it was, now that you've met Selena, what's your next biggest goal? And that was something that I struggled with after I met Selena Gomez, which was, I was like, oh shit, like what now? And that kind of is like a feeling that I feel with a lot of things that like I really look forward to, and I bet your ass I'm gonna feel it tonight with Lady Gaga. Like, when I've been dreaming of something happening and then it happens, I kind of feel like a bit, oh, okay, what now? Because I'm always looking for the next thing. I'm always like, I just can't sit at peace. I can't. So the good thing is I'm seeing Lady Gaga again in London next week, so I'm probably not going to feel it as strong. But whenever something happens that I really want, like meeting Bonnie Tyler or seeing her in concert, I came back from that kind of sad, and I don't know if people relate in that in any way, because it's kind of like, oh, what now? Like, that's been my motivation to keep going, you know, through like days where it's like really shitty, where it's like, oh, at least I have this to look forward to. And that's the same with like trips, and then they're over and I'm like, what now? And I was wondering if anyone else kind of looks at like really positive, exciting things in their life like that, where it's kind of like, oh, it's over and now I just don't know what to do with myself, and it kind of makes you really sad. So my next biggest inspiration or like aspiration is to meet the other people that I'm really a big fan of, which is Miley Cyrus and Mariah Carey. They are the top of my list right now to meet, because I've been so insanely honored to be able to meet Bonnie Tyler, Selena Gomez, and Ariana Grande, so all my favorite artists. So Mariah and Miley, you're next. So that's something that I know probably won't happen, but I thought that about Selena. just that Mariah and Miley don't really go on tours. But I'm holding out hope, and that's going to be something that I, like, look forward to. And just, you know, spending more time with, like, my loved ones and stuff, like, that's kind of what I'm like, that's my next, you know, thing to do. Louise said, are you always happy? Now, a lot of people have comments like this where it's like, you're very upbeat in your videos, or you're very, like, how do you feel as happy? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm putting out there, but a lot of people will be like, oh my god, Adam, you haven't uploaded in a few days, or Adam, you've gone radio silent. And the thing is, am I happy all the time? No. Am I happy a lot of the time where you think I'm happy? Like, no, I'm human, you're human. Are we happy all the time? No. Are we going through shit in our real lives? Yes. Are we going through shit online? Yes. Like, life is not like, la 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 la, like, that is not the truth whatsoever. So when people are like, you haven't uploaded in a few days, the reason is one of two things. There's no topics that I'm interested in, or I'm really not feeling that I can be positive in any way in my videos. And I don't want to put that out there because I really enjoy talking to the muckers. I want to talk to the muckers, so I'm not gonna fucking half-ass it. I'm not gonna half-ass it. I haven't uploaded in 3 days. The reason was I was adjusting with a couple things happening in my, like, personal life, and I was dealing with that. And I knew that if I talked to the muckers, that I wouldn't fully be in it. And so I take a few days, I come back, I feel refreshed, I'm excited, and that's it. So am I happy all the time? No. No. To answer your question, there's a lot of people asking further about that, which we'll get to. Someone said, any pet updates, and how do you deal with being away from your pets on vacation? I was gone from my dog and I was freaking out. Here's the thing, this all boils down to feeling comfortable with your animal sitter. Whenever I used to go on trips and I would rotate between different dog sitters or animal, you know, sitters for the cats, and even getting Monty looked after, like, it was something that I struggled with, and I couldn't relax on the trips. Whenever I went to Vienna for my birthday, I couldn't relax on the trip because I didn't feel comfortable with my dog sitter. My mom can vouch for me with that. It was not something that I enjoyed whatsoever. My dog sitters were not the most professional, and, you know, they were great in the end, but there was just something about them that I just didn't feel like that oozed professionalism, like, after they had my dogs, even though they'd had them in the past. And it just made me so uncomfortable for the entire trip. I couldn't focus, and I couldn't really necessarily enjoy myself to the max. So the reason I can comfortably travel while having my animals is I now have the most amazing animal sitter for both the cats and the dogs. They're two separate animal sitters, and I feel comfortable, and I know that whenever I go away, my dogs, because I'm consistent with the animal sitters now, especially with the dogs, the girls know the dog sitter, they know the dog sitter's, not husband, but boyfriend, and they know the environment, they know the place, and I know that the girls look at the dog sitter now like, in a way, a second home. And that, to me, is what I feel comfortable with. Whenever I first would go on trips, I would need updates about the girls every single second of every single day. Now, I get a couple a day, and I'm satisfied with that because I know that dogs do not lie. So, my girls, if they did not like the dog sitter, if there was something shady going on behind the scenes, the girls would not run to her. The girls would not be so excited when they see her. They would not be freaking the hell out with excitement, jumping, and Dolly, like, really excitedly, like, scream barks when she sees the girl jumping, and it's just like, that to me is how I feel comfortable and how I deal with them being away from me. And in terms of the cats could not give two fucks if I was with them. So whenever I'm not there, they don't even care that the animal sitter is looking after them. So there's something to be said about dogs versus cats here. I love them both equally. But there's definitely different precautions you need to take for both sets to feel comfortable. And it took me 6, 7, 8 months to be able to do that. So that's my advice to you. If you have animals, you haven't traveled, you need to go away for the weekend or something like that, you need to be comfortable with the person who's looking after your animals. And that's the truth. So, Andrew said, are you excited for Gaga Bestie? I am. It's been 10 years in the making. Thank you for asking. Emily said, would you want to move to New York City one day? That would be my dream. Is it my dream now? No. But I know that one day I would love to make that work, and I feel that I would love to move to New York City whenever I'm in my 30s. And that's such a weird thing, because I used to be like, I would love to move to New York whenever I'm, like, in my, like, early 20s. Now I'm like, no. I would love to move to New York whenever I'm in my 30s. But for the meantime, No, 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 no. I actually don't want to, there's a question going on here that's going to be like, are you excited to move to Paris? I actually don't even want to move to Paris right now. I don't want to move anywhere. I'm content in Brighton. I'm content traveling. I just feel that if I was to move somewhere while I'm so, like, all over the place right now, if I was to move to Paris or New York, which is my dream, I feel that I would then associate that place in not an exciting way anymore. I love coming to Paris because I come here, you know, often, but not that much. New York, it's even less infrequent, so when I go there, it's exciting, but I know that the second I move there, it's gonna be home, and I'm gonna be like, ugh, I would love to go on a trip to Brighton. And that's what annoys me about myself, so I would love to be more settled within myself before I move anywhere else. I already made the leap with Brighton. I'm tired with that. Tired, you know, from moving around and doing that big jump. Not tired of Brighton. I love Brighton. But not right now. Indy said, the best meeting a fan experience you've ever had. Hate that word. Because that's the reason you're called the Muckers. I do not have fans because I am not the... I'm not a channel that, like, has, like, a fanship. The channel doesn't operate in that way. The channel, this one, is literally probably the most, like, audience participation you can get because I just want this to be a conversation. From the very start of me doing YouTube, that's how it's been. So, in terms of meeting a mucker, my best meeting a fan experience, honestly, is whenever I'm on trips, because I feel almost more connected to the person when I'm on a trip because I'm there on my own, they're normally there on their own. And some of my best friends in Paris are people that I met on my first ever time coming to Paris. They came up to me at the airport as a mucker, well, a bestie at that time. We got pictures, we talked, I followed them on Instagram, and we kept talking to this day. And I was seeing her this week, and this is something that I love, and it is like building friendships through, you know, the viewer space, and it's always that. So my best is people that I've, like, became long-term friends with, and I have, like, a lot of people like that, even just from, like, Twitter. Someone said, have you ever been to Canada? Haven't. I really want to go, and my father also really wants to go. So a lot of people were asking about my next big goal in life, and honestly, I feel like in the past I've always said, like, materialistic things, or something that I have to, like, really, 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 like a hobby or something like that, if that makes any sense. My biggest goal in life right now is to further solidify, like, my in real life relationships with my best friends. It is something that I want to focus on exponentially within the next couple years of my life, which is developing my friendships with my new friends in Brighton even further, developing my friendships with my old friends. You know, I moved away, and, you know, keeping that bond there. Also with my family, further doing stuff, and the older I get, the more I enjoy their company, and that's the same with my friends as well. And just different things like that, like meeting people, that's what I'm focusing on right now. Like, that's my goal. My goal is meeting people, talking with people, hanging out with people, because whenever I moved to Brighton, I spent months by myself. I spent months not even leaving the apartment. I was a homebody, not because I wanted to be, but because I was awkward to go out there. And that is something that is very valid whenever you move away from home. So my next big goal in life right now is to meet people, is to talk with people, is to hang out with people, and that's really what I want to focus on right now. And I want to ask what your one is, because that's my favorite thing to ask my friends, like, what's your next goal in life, or what's your biggest goal in life, or what's your goal right now? So that's my thing. Louis said, do you want any more pets? If so, what animals? No. No. If you'd asked me this a year ago, I would have said yeah. I'm so happy with what I've got right now, and it works so well, and I'm so on top of it, and I have such a good relationship, not Shane Dawson relationship with the animal, but like relation with each animal, that it feels so balanced. And I honestly feel that if I was to add one more, it would completely fuck up the dynamic between me and even like Bonnie, or me and Tyler, or something like that. No, I do not want any more animals. Even in terms of, like, there was people being like, do you want like a lizard or something? No. I do not want anything else. I'm so happy with what it is now. I can focus on each of them. If I was to throw one more in the mix, I would be screwed. That being said, whenever I'm in my mid-20s, late 20s, I for sure want to get a German Shepherd. But not right now. I want to also grow up with my animals. And I have the perfect number right now. And I also got the amount that I did between the cats and the dogs for a reason, because I have a bulldog and she's very nervous around other animals and she would act out. So I needed to introduce her to the animals that were going to be staying in my life before she grew up. And I successfully did that, and I'm so glad I did. That's like my greatest achievement yet, which was getting the cats, getting Dolly, and introducing them to Bonnie before she was too old. Because if Bonnie meets other dogs now, she will want to start a fight. So she doesn't, and she's so protective over the animals at the house. And I just feel that I did such a, not to tip my own horn, such a great job of like getting them all, making them all home, and just making them all my family. And Bonnie's comfortable with them, and just, that's also something I just want to grow up with them now. I just want to focus on doing stuff with them, and especially since the world opened up, like my next big goal actually is to travel with the girls. I really want to travel with Bonnie and Dolly, specifically Dolly, because I just feel that she would enjoy traveling so much. I don't think Bonnie would, so I wouldn't take her on everything, but I just feel that me and Dolly would like take on the world together. So I really want to work that out. I would love to take Dolly to Paris. So something I want to do. Someone said, what's your favorite thing to do whenever you're feeling not so great? My favorite thing to do, honestly, is cut myself off from everyone. If I'm being completely honest with you, and it works. I cut myself off from everyone for like 2 or 3 days. I wear the exact same thing. My personal hygiene will never be worse. It's like, I'm sorry, if I'm being completely honest with you here, I cut myself off from everything. I kind of go into like a slumber state. I just spend time with the animals. I just watch movies. I drink lots of green tea. I drink lots of water. And I just eat food that makes me feel good, which is normally like pasta and stuff like that. And I try my best not to eat a lot of like fast food type things whenever I'm feeling down, because it normally just adds to it, where I'm like, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat fast food. I don't feel full after it, but I feel yucky. So I try to eat like food that I've cooked, and that's also something that kind of inspires me then. And that's kind of what I do. I wear a lot of face masks, and then past like the 2nd day, 3rd day, that's whenever I start getting my hygiene back again, and I will take like a really good shower. Then I'll start like taking baths every day, just as something nice to do. But honestly, I just kind of become like a recluse for a bit. So that's honestly what I do. So the next one is people being like, have you ever considered more animals? No, y'all. No. Someone said, is there any YouTubers that have a big following that have been super mean behind the scenes that we really don't know about? Now, honestly, that I've met, I'm gonna say no, and I know that's a boring answer, but all I'm gonna say is there's a few people I met in LA that have huge egos, but they were never necessarily rude to me. It was just kind of things I heard them doing behind the scenes, which was shady. But I would say for the most part that online creators have been the nicest people that I've met, rather than like actors and stuff like that, just for the sake of everyone is doing the same thing online, so you've got to earn your spot. And not only do you earn your spot, but if you treat people like shit, how quickly could you be dropped from the online world versus if you were like an actor with a huge company behind you? You have to be grateful for what you got. You got to work for what you got. And so because of that, mainly the people I've met in the online world have been quite pleasant to be around. That being said, there's a lot of people I've met who have huge egos. They haven't been rude to me, but they have huge egos, and I just don't like hanging around them, so I don't. So if you see me hang around YouTubers, it's normally people that I've like give like the green light to, that I enjoy being around, because there's no point for me, especially if I'm going to LA, wasting my time out there hanging out with YouTubers that just make me feel shitty. And there is a lot like that out there, let me tell you that. But I don't hang around it because I don't feel the need to. I've been in situations where I haven't even really hung out with people, and I've came out the worst because I've been, you know, rude or something like that, and I haven't been, and it's all been proved as the person. Whoa! That was scary as shit. I'm getting karma from someone speaking about them. But I have a fruit packet behind, and it literally just popped open. I am so sorry if that gave you a little jitter there. But I definitely feel like I should stop talking about this person because they're probably coming for me. So yeah, but being serious, I don't hang around a lot of people who do online stuff because I'm so scared of them in any way. So I really only hang around a few YouTubers whenever I go to LA, or if I go to Paris, I, you know, meet up with like a couple people who do Instagram, or whenever I'm in London, I know a few TikTokers, but I normally keep myself away from content creators because I'm scared of them. As one, I'm scared of y'all in the most respectful way, so I kind of like keeping myself with people who do not know the online world. Most of my friends in person do not know who Trisha Paytas or Ethan Klein or any of these people are, and that was one thing I had a conversation with my friend about the last day. We were talking about one of my friends who works in the field is dating someone who doesn't work in the field, and they were saying that it's so great to date someone who doesn't care about Twitter, doesn't care about YouTube, doesn't care. And I was like, that would, like, ideally that would be what I would love, which would be like dating someone who doesn't give a fuck about the online world, because I care so deeply about it that if I was with someone who also cared about it, oh Lord, I would go insane. I would go insane. And I want to ask you that question. Like, if you work in, like, accounting, would you be able to date another person who worked in accounting? Or if you were an actor, could you date another actor? Or if you were a painter, could you date another painter? Because I feel that I remember having a conversation with my tattoo artist who dated another tattoo artist, and she said I went insane because we would come home, talk about tattoos, go to work, talk about tattoos, and I couldn't escape it. And I feel like that would be me living in an absolute nightmare. I forget what the question was, but you got the tangent. Okay, I'll answer a couple more. How did you deal with exams at school? I didn't. I couldn't study. I have the worst attention span. I just kind of flunked it, and I saw if I did good or if I didn't. That was it. Don't take my advice on that. I would go into school with no sleep and 3 Red Bulls in me. I don't know how I remember there was one exam, I didn't sleep, and I had taken so many Red Bulls that I literally had to hold my hand still while writing because I was so jittery. Because I'd be so stressed because of the exams that I wouldn't eat food. So I'd just have I hated school. I hated school. School is not for everyone, and I still stand by that. Alright, okay. So, someone said this isn't necessarily a recent one, but I wanted to know how you've got the courage to live in a different country and travel on your own. It's always something I want to do, but I have anxiety about it. That is completely valid. Both things that you just said, I had the exact same mentality about. This is going to be the worst advice ever. And you're going to hate me for this? Do it. If you can. It's a lot easier to travel than it is to move country. If you are financially able to, do it. And you want to, but you're nervous to, you're scared, do it. Unless you do it, unless you put, and you will learn fast that you fend for yourself. You will learn things that make you uncomfortable that you need to, you know, not do when you travel in future or something like that. Do it. I am so sorry that is the worst piece of advice ever, but you've got to run. You've got to run. You've got to do it. And you won't know until you've done it. And you'll always find an excuse. If you're able to do it, you'll always find an excuse to be like, oh, but I can't do it now. I can't do it now. I can't do it. You just gotta run, grab, take, and research the areas to make sure that they are safe. Make sure the areas that are safe. Go in Facebook forums of people who have been in that country. What's the safest area? What matches your criteria? Do your research, and then once you've done that, go. So, we'll answer a few more, but that honestly is my best advice. Okay, my camera died, but I'm now back, and I'm also lying down because I'm sweating. So, we'll answer a few more. Someone said, how do you manage your mental health when you're tackling major topics on YouTube? Oh, I don't. I have a tendency when there is really big topics on YouTube to get so emotionally involved, especially when it comes to essay or violence or something like that. And honestly, decompressing and taking days where I'm not focused on anything that is happening online is the most important thing. So decompressing and removing yourself from the situation is exactly what I do to kind of take myself away from it and manage my mental health. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. So someone said, okay, I feel like this is an interesting one to end it off because it's something that I talked about at the start of the video and I disagree with. Someone said, do you enjoy being famous? And do not say, I'm not even famous, because Adam, you are. Does it make you anxious or feel like it's too much? Also, do you prefer, oh, you're getting multiple questions in, Slay. Also, do you prefer being single or would you rather be in a relationship? Would you ever try polygamy, or wait, is it polygam? No, that's Polyglam is the gay club in Revenge. Polyglamorous. No, wait. Hold on. Because there's a club in Brighton. There's a club in Brighton that's called Polyglam. But I know that poly is the relationship with multiple people. I'm going to answer you so... I have friends who are in poly relationships. I couldn't. I'm too jealous. I'm too jealous. If someone is not like... If I have competition in my own relationship, you can fuck off. However, I have friends who are in poly relationships and they are like the sweetest couples I've ever met. So I love people who are in poly relationships, but I just couldn't because I'm a really jealous person. And I've had conversations saying that with people who are in those relationships, and they're like, oh no, that's like a completely valid thing. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I love it for you. I just couldn't do it for me. So to answer that, do you prefer being single or would I rather be in a relationship? I kind of enjoy being single because I get very tired of people very easily, and I also just really appreciate my own space, and I would be scared of myself in a relationship that I would just want to spend time on my own most of the time. So that's what I'm dealing with. Okay, now this question, do I enjoy being famous? And don't say you're not famous. Y'all are so sweet that you hype me up, but let's be fucking real here. Let's be fucking real here. The biggest YouTuber of all time, in my opinion, is not even famous. Online has created such a divide of fame that I feel that in a couple years, in 10 years, the biggest stars on the planet will be from the online space. But because everyone is in the online space, no one is famous. So when you go down the level of a channel like mine, you can be known by like groups of people. That does not make you famous. I am not famous, nor would I even say that my channel is popular. I would say that my channel is known within a community, which is the commentary space. You think people in the, like, horror genre, you think people in the fashion genre, you think people in the travel genre have any idea of my channel? And that's why I say it, and I don't say it to be, like, rude or, like, condescending to, like, my viewers, where it's like, okay, but, like, I'm not famous, like, we're literally, like, just, like, BFFs, like, talking, like, I'm not saying that to be, like, annoying, but it's like, let's be real here. You can be known, but you're not famous. You can be known and you're not even popular. Because when everyone's doing YouTube, no one's famous. When everyone's doing YouTube, no one is, like, popular. Especially with the wave of TikTok. Am I so grateful for my following and my platform and the numbers I do have? Yes. And do I enjoy the opportunities that come with my YouTube channel? Yes. That has nothing to do with fame or even, like, it really isn't. It's literally just, like, things that have happened from my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, y'all, I love you, and I love that you're hyping me up. Thank you so much for it. My YouTube channel is not even that popular. It's not even the most popular in the drama space. So, it's not even the most popular in a niche of a niche of a niche. I really love y'all hyping me up. I really appreciate it, don't worry. But I enjoy having my viewership. And I enjoy meeting people. I met someone at the museum yesterday in Paris. I enjoy that. I love that. And I love it because it's so, like, uncommon. It's so uncommon that I would run into, like, a mucker on the street. It's so uncommon that someone would watch my videos that I would come in contact with. And that's what makes it really exciting for me. So, do I enjoy being famous? I can't answer that because I'm not. And I'm, again, all the reasons I stated before. It's not me being like, I'm so humble or anything like that. Come on now. I really enjoy having an audience. It's what I've always dreamed of, and the fact that my audience is as great as the muckers, not to toot your horn, but I feel that you're valid in your arguments, you're really funny to talk to, you're enjoyable to talk to, and you also can give me criticism, and I can, like, give you criticism. Like that, I'm really happy with where my channel is. And that's what I wanted to end it off of. Here was a little life update. I'm doing well. The animals are doing well. Gomez, Tyler, and Milo are all healthy. Dolly and Bonnie are healthy. They're all doing well. I will be seeing them all tomorrow. If you're on my social medias, it's the Adam McIntyre. I'll be posting pictures and videos tomorrow. I'm excited to see them. And I love you all so much. Thank you for watching this life update. I will see you in my next one. And thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, hit me up on social media. And I love you. I'll see you in my next one. And bye. Mwah.